Hello everybody, James from James Workshop here, and today we are doing the range review of the Space Dwarves, the Leagues of Votann, the squats, whatever you want to call them. However long you've been a gamer in Warhammer 40k, everyone likes the squats. I love the squats myself personally, and I love their models. First to say it, I'm a big fan of their models. I wish I had a bigger range, but we just had the massive update of their range. We pretty much not double their units, but we added a good percentage. And now it kind of feels like they're at almost full force. So let's do a review because we're probably not going to get any new models for a long time. And just before we start, I just want to preface, there are a couple of commemorative models. I have not included them in here because they're not currently available. We're looking at the range that are currently available on GW's website. So, to begin with, the Carl, the original Carl, or Uthar the Destined. This is a kit that can be run as two ways. When I've sold all my Votann, which I regret, I ran Uthar, but you can also change the back talisman, headpiece, whatever you want to call it, that thing there. So Uthar has the bear, and the normal Carl has... Can't even do a 360. What is it? I don't know. A bird or a dog or something. I don't know. I love this model. I think it's a great, and it was a great domineering centerpiece HQ model for the range when it first came out. Uthar just has... What do you want to say? Just got aura around him. The way he holds his blade, the way he's positioned on there, it's just excellent and awesome. And his face sculpt is really good. And you got a wide range of weapons and stuff you can put on him. And you got to think, right, for a lot of people, they've not even been alive or haven't ever seen the squats. So this model kind of demonstrates everything. It shows they are pretty much space marines that are short, and they have a wide range of weapons, armor, everything. And Uthar / the Carl are fantastic models to demonstrate this, and it only gets better from here. And with the starter set, we also had the Iron Champion. So this was like the second HQ choice that came out with the starter set. Oh, we can do a 360. So this guy's more of like a big battle ram. I think his pose feels animated. He feels like this big boulder that's going to come get you, and having that little ram insignia thing at the top of his armor, on top of all the little ram motifs on him, like on his shield, everything. It just feels like a big boulder that's going to ram you, just smack into you. And, you know, these models aren't massive, but they just look exceptionally well. They've done a lot with the minimal space. There's lots of flat paneling. We love that. And lots of little tiny little elements of dwarf / Norse insignias and stylization. Very good. We like this model. And I think different head sculpts. Do you get a helmet? I don't think I've ever seen it. I think you can get a generic helmet on him. I don't remember. Is there a helmet in here? No. Okay, there's no helmet in this set. Moving on. The new HQ leadership choice, Buri Agnesson. I have spoken heavily on this character. I think he is fantastic. I almost bought him in the shop yesterday. I was like, no, I've got a lot of Warhammer stuff I need to buy soon, and I just want to paint this guy, so I held off on that for now. What a fantastic model. If I was to buy one of these three, so Uthar / the Carl, the Iron Champion, or Buri, just for the aesthetics, I'm picking Buri. He's unreal, and I like how he has little Tyranid motifs all over his body, like insignias, like on his belt. His little headpiece looks like it has like a little snake worm / Tyranid guy there. Obviously, he's got a massive Tyranid exoskeleton skull headpiece with some scales on the back. Awesome. I wish they did a 360. I'm surprised they don't have that out yet. And I'm a fan of big spears. I'm a fan of Tyranids, especially on Tyranids on bases. And this is just the Carl to me, but better. And I love the Carl. And I am biased. I like the Space Dwarves. And I like the little change they've done here, where they've made his 2 metal fingers. Well, they gave him 2 robot fingers, and I think from the lore-wise, I'm pretty sure he's been eaten multiple times by Tyranids, and he just gets himself out, cuts himself out. I think he might have been like a lone survivor multiple times from like Leviathan fleet or something. Regardless, just a good-looking model. Good-looking model. One of the best, at least for a leadership choice, and especially for a Xeno. I think it might be hard to beat for one of the best leadership models of the year. I'll say that. It's going to be hard to beat. We'll have to do a review at the end of the year and see all the models that came out and what are the best models. Moving on, one of another new leadership type or supporting characters, Memnir Strategist. Now, he is a kin. He is a robot boy. I appreciate the design. I like the hand gesture. I like a lot about what's going on. He has this like sensei, monk. I can't say some of these words because I'm Australian. Vibes going on, but I hate, and I said this in my other video, I hate all these little robot things. These things are just going to break. And for that, I don't like it. And this has been saved by a fantastic paint job. Most people aren't going to get to that level of detail on such a small little screen. I'm not a fan. Overall, not a fan of the model. The Mad Scientist, the Arcanist Evaluator. I think this is just a cool model. I like the Mad Scientist vibe going on. It brings a little bit of humor into the Leagues of Votann. They have a bit of humor, but this model definitely brings more out. I think if you're going for more realistic, I guess it's 40k, more realistic, you'd probably run the headpiece here, considering he's using a massive of what looks like electric cannon. Let's just see what it says. Experimental energy. So whatever that energy is, you probably want some protection. It's just a cool looking model. I like the level of detail they got into. They've got all these extra little bits and bobs all over, you know. You got the blast shield just in front of him. Everything's kind of wrapped up just to kind of insulate and just keep it all contained and safe. I love it. It's like this thing could blow up, but also do a lot of damage, and it's just so well put together. I love all the little details of all the little pipes going in everywhere. You got the cover on all these pipes, all these energy power cord or whatever this is. Great job. Great model. Grimnir, one of the original models to come out. I think people like this model. I, however, do not. I did appreciate the 2 robot kin when it first came out, but now I feel like they don't suit anything. They look a bit weird. And I say that, I think it's the clear plastic stand they're on to give them elevation and make them float. Also, the rocks he's standing on are quite weird. Let's have a look. He's on floating rocks, so obviously he's using some psycho powers of some kind. Lots of headpieces before, we'll go back to that, but the kin are just a little bit weird, I feel. It's obviously it's Leagues of Votann. It just feels out of place to me, and that could just be me. I feel like the proportions are all wrong. There's way too much space. Why is this eagle thing so big? Weird. This headpiece with this long dreadlocked hair, so good. With the half metallic face, chef's kiss. That is fantastic head sculpt, and it really brings out that Norse vibe, Viking vibe to it. I love that. I think him here with the long beard, it looks like a bit of a druid or something. It's just a bit off. I would love to see the full model like this. I feel like this model looks slightly less weird with all this hair, but overall, it's just I'm not vibing the robots. Brokir Ironmaster, kind of the master of all the kin, all the robots. I like this set. You get this cool, like, engineer dwarf guy. This guy really just going full dwarf. He's kind of bringing out what a dwarf is. He's got his big hammer, got a big gun. He's standing on a tiny little rock there. got his exploring kit. Just, you know, this is what I kind of feel like a dwarf would look like and kind of feel like. And he's a bit upset. And look, yeah, his face looks like it as well. What a dwarf should be in 40k. And he comes with an entire gang of robots. This guy's kind of cool. He's just here for business. He's here to fix your shit up or just shoot some, what is that, a rivet gun? Whatever, or shoot plasma? Who knows? It's like it's a weird looking kin because he's so short and he doesn't have any armor really on him. And I love the little vest he has here with all the tools and pockets, everything. Just a cool model. I love models that kind of have a purpose to them. He feels like he has a job or a role that he actually does. Another one, this guy looks like he's just a bit of a repairer. Obviously, he is a flying model. And this is what they should have done on the Grimnir for these guys. Instead of being on that clear acrylic plastic stand, just attach it to something. Oh, this looks so much better. And this model looks actually good. You know, he's got these weird arms coming out the front of him like a little T-Rex, but then where a normal kin's arms would be in the shoulder pieces, that's where he has his jetpack. Jetpack is, I guess. That's where he's elevated from. It's a good model. And once again, lots of tools. Looks cool. Not as good as the last model. And basically the same. This guy has a hammer and a gun, obviously. More of a defense mechanism. Or what does he have on him? There's a crowbar, a hook, a ratchet hook, a hammer. So I feel like this guy's more for repair and safety. It might say it in the lore and the description below, but we're just kind of going from the model itself. Once again, it's basically the same model technique as the last one. Good job. And last but not least, the same similar model. This guy is a welder, obviously. And he has this another T-Rex hand, but instead of it having a tool in the hand, he's actually just holding. What is he holding? I don't know what that tool is. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's probably just another flamer. I can't think of the word. You've got the propane tank here. I don't know. Obviously, he's going to weld stuff. I think they might both be welders. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, overall, not a bad kit. It's a bit diverse, and I feel like it's a good kit for dioramas. Fantastic for dioramas, especially if you want to do like a mechanic thing, working on one of the bigger vehicles of the Votann. Good kit for extras. Going to our normal, I guess I'm about to say Space Marines. Afghan Warriors, they are just Space Marines in spacesuits that are short. Here's the leader. So the leader also gets that the animal thing at the top. They're just nice models. Not too flashy, not too much. They can run, here we go, a full helmet. You can run no helmet, or you can run a half helmet where the face is poking through. I like this. It allows you to be a bit more customizable. And unlike the Space Marines, the Votann, they run as male and female. You can do whatever you want. It's awesome. The armor really hides it. It's big armor, so it hides everything. So you don't have, it doesn't matter if you're a chick or a guy. Do what you want. Make a full female army if you want. Make a full male army if you want. If you guys have a problem, one or the other, cool. Make your army your way. If you don't care, just do a nice mix. And the guns themselves. I love the shotguns. The shotgun bolter gun things look awesome. This big plasma gun looks sick. This rocket gun isn't even the worst. It's not the worst. I don't like rocket guns though. Oh, just fun models. And then you get like one or two kin in the set. And he has his own gun for some reason. There was a reason when the thing came out. And you can have attack Marine. I keep saying Marine. Very customizable squad. And you get the sick guy with glasses. Nice. Was this? No, it's not how we started. This guy with his face sculpt. Fan favorite when the Votann came out. I think our end screen actually has fan art of him. But I just like how customizable this kit is. And you can do it so many different ways. Make them your own. And just look how many bits there are. You have a lot of bits left over as well. So much going on. Very nice. Not bad. Not bad. And just to quickly look at, Right after this came out, or right after they released Votann, they then released some new kill team for the Votann. And don't get this confused that they actually released Necromunda squats well before the Leagues of Votann released. But squats are technically not Votann, even though they're the same race. Squats technically right now only exist in Necromunda right now. So Halfkin salvages, it's basically it is the same models, except they've got some more extra bits. Love the minigun. Love the fucking fisticuffs. Love all the extra bits. Honestly, I would be half tempted if your opponent doesn't care what you actually run as the models, and you just say, this is what this is, they have this many things, just fucking run this. It's so much cooler. I like all the little extra bits and pieces you get. And then we also have another kill team. I'll be the first to say, I don't really like the characters with the big vests, big trench coats on. But if you do, you could run this as well. It's cool. I like all the weapon options. It's a different vibe. There's a bit different stylization going on. They've got similar armor, but not really. Like some parts are the same. Love the Splinter Cell helmet here. Love. A nice Votann sniper. Not that massive sniper we saw before, like this guy. A nice, simpler sniper. Quite a bit going on. Bit more, I'd say unique. Bit more unique. And just these two Splinter Cell goggle head guys. Fantastic. Ironkin Steeljacks, the new full body Ironkin Warriors. These guys are sick. I almost bought these yesterday as well, but when I was looking at the store, $100 for this, Australian, $75 for the Fury. I'm sorry, I'm not spending that much for stuff I just want to paint for fun. This is actually where I think the future of Leagues of Votann are going to go. They're going to continue and go hard down the line of the robots, of the kin, and just expand upon them heavily. And in the lore, the kin, the robots, and the actual dwarves themselves, they see themselves as equal. They're a big brotherhood. They all believe in the same thing. So, fantastic models. These guys have a level of girth to them. It's a better way to say it. They just feel stocky and tall and domineering. It's quite a lot for 3 models for $100. I can't believe we're getting to the price point where you can actually get more models for the same price, probably for more points as well, as Custodes. This is not good value. These are Ironkin Steeljacks. I would not be buying these off GW's website. I would be getting these off a hobby shop that probably has a 20% discount, because these prices are crazy. The models are cool. Don't know how much points they're worth, but Jesus. But I just love the legs. The legs are fantastic. They're not short and stocky. These guys feel like this is what Space Marines might look like if the Space Marines had a bit more astronomy, like NASA kind of spacesuits, and if they were robots. Good job. Broke here, Thunderkin. These guys, I love that they're on exosuits. So just to show you, you can see how he's standing up on the exosuit. So he's not on the ground, the exosuit is. It's just cool. And they have these big domineering weapons. They just look like they mean business. And there you go. There's the very first Splinter Cell helmet. It's just such a cool outfit. And we've had exosuits in Necromunda. And this is just probably the best. And we actually have exosuits in the Battle Sisters, the Adeptus Sororitas. These are probably the best battle suits GW have made. At least to me. I know most people don't like the battle suits in the exosuits in the Adeptus Sororitas. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Or no one likes the baby carrier either in the Grey Knights. I think these are perfectly done. You can see the armor underneath. It's just kind of like that movie with Tom Cruise where they all wear the exosuits. And I'm sure they've just copied the design somewhat. Good fun models. Big weapons. Big back. I think it's the back of the exosuit I love the most. Look at that. So good. Great job. Iron here half guard. So like the Iron here champion we had before, he is the champion or the leader of these guys. Just some more big rams. These guys, you know, meant to charge in. They're heavily armored. They're elites. They're meant to charge in, get some business done. You can run them with hammer. I think they have a shield as well. You can run them with the power blade that comes out of their fucking top of their wrist, top of their hand, which is awesome. And he has a big power fist on as well. Big gun. No, just cool. It's nice. No, I mean, it's basically similar armor as the others, just a bit more armored up, a bit more domineering. Just cool models. They do look good on the tabletop next to the average Halfkin warrior. Chthonian Berserk. So these are the Berserkers. And these are probably one of the more dwarfy models they've released. These guys are the ones that don't give a shit about their lives. They're all offense. And they're just... I'm in two minds. There's two things I love about them. I love the power axes. Look how good that power axe is. Look how big it is. Fantastic. I'm just not sure about the armor situation that's going on. But I'll also say, the thing I love the most is this little robot kin guy here. Is there a good... Here we go. Look at him. He's just chilling. Yeah, he might be carrying everything for the grenadier person. But this guy himself, he is just a fucking boss. Look at him. So good. But going back, the armor. I understand that they're meant to be naked. It just feels a bit weird. It feels like he's got this big codpiece thing diaper on. Looks like they have a fucking diaper. Because he is half armored from obviously just like the chest downwards or just underneath the chest. And it's just the space pants. I don't know. I feel like if they change the space pants to something else, it might look better. I don't like the double fist action going on here either. I feel like this is a bit weird. It doesn't suit. But I guess you can choose to run him like this. Yeah. You can choose to run this guy two different... Oh no, maybe not. Maybe you can't. I'm not sure. I've not actually built this set, so please let me know if you can build this guy with the two fists as something else. This robot, kin guy, perfect. I like the aesthetics of it. I just don't like the diapers. I feel like if they changed the legs a little bit or even dropped this armor from just the belt below, it looked better. It's just something about them I just don't like, and that might just be me. And the new version of these guys, the Chthonian Earthshakers, the mortars, because obviously the last guy had a grenade launcher. These guys are the mortar squad. There's no 360, they're brand new. I think it's just a cool unit. They've kept the aesthetics, everything. Got a fucking sick kin there. They're just doing the thing. And this is what they've done, right? So if these are the Berserkers, the Chthonian Berserkers, and in fact this guy actually I didn't notice before, one of them has chest armor going a bit higher. These guys have that same chest armor that goes higher on them. They should have just done this for all of the Berserkers before. Yeah, this kind of fixes the design. It gives them an armored tank top. They've got small little power axes, and obviously they're just loading the mortar up. Get two of these guys, or two mortar teams. Very nice, and one of them you have the ability to be loading it, and the other guy's about to be loading it. Now, very nice. Not really much to go off on that, but it's a nice addition to the army. Now we're into the vehicles. We're towards the end. It's still not a massive range, but it's got some depth now. Hernkin or Heinkin Pioneers. I wasn't a fan when these came out, and it hasn't grown on me. I don't like, and like I said before, that killed him. I don't like the trench coats. I like the idea that they're trikes, and they brought the trikes back from the original squats. So they did do that. I don't like how the vehicles hover. I myself, and I said this in another video, where I like my Votann, if you look it up online about converting, I like my Votann to be the bee with like spider bug leg type things, like robotic legs that walk. But you can't really do that with the Pioneers, and I just feel like the Pioneers are a bit weird. I I think they look at themselves, they look fine. And I think this is probably the model that, this model and one of the other vehicles are probably fine to hover. I would prefer the Votann to hover than be on wheels though, even though my preference is legs. I think it's the trench coats, and I think there's just a lot going on. But that's probably just me, because it really is not. I think I'm just biased and I just don't like the models. But, you know, they're trikes, so, and the vehicles, they're kind of cool. It's just my bias. I'm just gonna leave this one. I'm just too biased. I'm not a big fan. And this is the new model, so obviously the bigger version of this, I think is actually kind of cool. I wish they did this on a future vehicle with having this little bit of a backspace. So this is what I felt the Pioneer should have been, just a little bit bigger. And I feel like they've kind of corrected that a little bit. They just made it a little bit bigger. And they've also given you the ability to like change the gun at the back. I wish it was a bit more of a transport. It is a transport carrier technically, so I guess you can build it without anything on the back, but they've not shown that. But I do like how customizable they've made it, and they've really lent in on having the robots or the normal soldiers, the normal dwarves. They're letting the player choose how they want to build it. The actual model itself, I just like the shape of it. The shape of this is much nicer. It's like a space buggy. Yeah, that's not bad. I appreciate it. The Sagittaur. So this is the first model I feel like should be on some robot legs. I like the model. It's a good model. It's definitely, obviously, a big moon buggy. It would just be better if it was on legs. I feel like it has to walk. It's a bit too NASA spacey on the wheels. It just looks like a moon buggy. It didn't do enough, and it probably looks better now that there's other models as well that's fleshed the range out. But when Votann first came out, it was just this, and then the next vehicle, aside of the trikes, are like, it's just too spacey. And when I say spacey, once again, NASA space. What astronauts currently look like, all that type of thing. It just kind of goes too far down that line. Look up the Sagittaur, look it up with some robot legs. It looks so much better. Trust me on that. And the Land Fortress. Now this thing, you can't actually argue with me. This thing looks the best with robot legs. This thing is expensive, $200, but it is a fucking massive unit. Look how big this boy is. And if you put it on some robot legs, it gets a bit more height, and it needs a bit more height because these wheels are ridiculous. Look how much clearance this thing has. There's no clearance, how much weight it is. So if this thing hits a rock on a random planet, there's nothing there. There's no space there for clearance. But the model itself, I enjoy it. I like it. I like that it does feel like a tank. It does feel like a land fortress. And I like the amount of customization I've seen online with conversions. This is a fantastic conversion model because you probably do need to convert it. It is fucking a bit boring when you get it and just build it as vanilla as it's meant to be built. Do a quick 360 around it. And I don't believe, I'm just checking the, yeah, you can't. And they missed a massive opportunity. I feel like what would have been redeeming for this model is if they allowed you to open this whole hatch door airlock thing at the back and go and actually have models inside there. If it's a land fortress, let's see a little bit of what's going on in there. Make a little airlock so you don't have to do the full interior, but at least let us like make it slightly different, customize it ourselves a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot lacking in the model by itself, but look up the conversions for this thing because this thing looks unreal when you do some light conversions on it. And I just love all the little turrets on here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 turrets on here. You got 2. Oh wait, am I miscounting? I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. Sorry, I miscounted. You got 6 turrets on here. It looks good, and you can just imagine that there's either the robot AI that's sitting here next to the pilot. Where are we? This little guy's probably manning all the other guns, or there's probably some Votann on the inside manning those guns. Let us see it. I don't know. It's a bit of a miss, but if you do some conversions and get some third-party parts, you can make this model fantastic. So, almost worth the money. And last but not least, it's the new Combat Patrol. If you can still buy the old Combat Patrol for the same price, get it. If you are interested in Leagues of Votann, I keep seeing the old Combat Patrol at a couple of stores near me. I've almost bought it a few times because although this is good, there's a lot of good things here. The old Combat Patrol just has more in it, and it's probably better value for money. Otherwise, this is still a good box. So you get the Iron Hero Champion, you get the Brokier Thunderkin, you get a whole normal squad, and then obviously you get the Iron Hero Half Guard as well. It's not a bad box. Not that bad. I just feel like the old Combat Patrol is just better. Well, and as I said, this guy, fan favourite. Leagues of Votann, they're new. They've been out for 2 or 3 years now. They just had their massive second wave of models come out, which was very deserved. And it feels like more of a full army now. It doesn't feel like half an army. A lot's needed to be done, and I hope they continue going down the line of making the army your own. I like it if they keep dropping models that you can convert. When I say convert, that you can choose to make robots or just dwarves or a mix. I like that. I like the robots personally myself more. And I like that they're now starting to give me that choice. And I hope they continue going down that line, giving people the choice to make this army whatever they want it to be. This is the one army they really have in 40k that's not determined by lore. They have not written much lore for the squats or the Leagues of Votann yet, so they can really make it for everyone. And I don't really care about equality, equity, or any of that things in gaming or hobbies or whatnot, but I appreciate that they're trying to make this as accessible for everyone, because I think at the end of the day, everyone should just be happy with what they are able to play with and make, and I appreciate that they're, for really no extra cost, they're making it that you can make the Votann army whatever you want. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and let me know what your favourite Votann model is, or what video I should do next for a range review. Cheers, bye.